Hey, what's going on? So today we are driving my 2015 Subaru WRX base model, and I've owned the car for about a year now. So I figured I'd do kind of a impression review video on what I like, what I don't like about the car, what's gone on after daily driving the car for a year, and everything like that. So we're gonna start off with just my impressions of the car, so like what I noticed when I first got the car and everything. So starting off with the outside, I like the look of it. It's a little boring, but that's always something that Subaru's kind of always been like. But I like the look of it. I think everything's just kind of simple, nothing crazy. So it's just the WRX. It doesn't have the wing or anything. Things that I don't like about the outside is first of all, the side skirts. They're really wide, so getting in and out of the car is just kind of odd, especially if you're not used to them. So for example, on my passenger side, there's scratches from passengers getting in and out who weren't used to the side skirts, and they hit their shoes and stuff on them. Just kind of a pain because that leaves scratches, obviously, and scratches don't look good. Going around the car, something that developed after I think a month or two of ownership was my trunk started to not close right away. So it's gotten to the point where now it takes like 2 or 3 slams in order for it to close. It opens fine, but I think it's something that has to do with the latch. I've taken it to a Subaru dealer, and they said they ordered parts and they were going to let me know when they came in, and they never did. So that was kind of a pain. The dealer's around an hour away from me, so it's not like I can just go there and back whenever I can. And they never told me what was wrong, so it's not like I can just order parts and fix it myself, which is kind of annoying. Getting on into the interior. I got the base model, so as you can see, there's nothing really fancy about it. There's no navigation. I just have the cloth interior rather than the leather, but I kind of like it that way. I would prefer leather seats, but beggars can't be choosers. But in terms of like navigation and everything, I never use navigation. If I do, it's just on my phone, or I just print out directions, whatever. I think it's always just been a nuisance and like kind of a distraction for me. I like the simpleness of just like, having just easy dials to access and everything. That screen up there, I really like it, the boost gauge, and then it has all kinds of other things like your MPG. Those screens are kind of useless. That one's good, it tells you your range and everything, your radio, and then just the clock is kind of dumb. But I just keep it on the boost gauge. I think this carbon fiber stuff's a little weird. A lot of people will call it cheap and don't really like it, but I don't mind it. I think it looks okay, but I would have preferred if it was just like regular black or something. Something I really like, it's one of my favorite points in the car, is the steering wheel. So I'm not sure, I know Momo in the past has made the WRX and STI steering wheels. I don't know if they still do, but I really like it. The flap bottom's nice, especially someone who's taller like me, longer legs, especially coming in and out from the clutch. It's just really easy. Something I don't like about the interior is the seat placement. You sit really high, which is kind of annoying. Like it's okay for regular driving, but say you're on a back road or on a track or something and you're doing a little like faster driving, it's nicer to sit low. So it's just kind of weird coming from like another car, like say like a GTI or Focus ST or something like that. Coming from that and then sitting in this, you feel like you're in a much taller car, so it's just a little weird. I wish they would have done that, but that can be fixed with some aftermarket seats, but that's kind of an expensive upgrade. What else? Another thing, no one really talks about this, but it's just kind of something that I really like, is the pedal placement. So it's kind of going to be a shitty shot, but if you notice, like the brake and the gas are too far apart, and then when you depress the brake, the gas is kind of right there. So something I like to do when I'm driving, especially more spirited kind of driving, is I like to heel toe shift, and the pedal placement is almost perfect for that. They're not too close, so if you have bigger feet, you're not going to be smashing on the pedals. It is a little bit of a reach if you have smaller feet, but it's not a problem. You can when the brake is pretty depressed, the gas pedal's right next to it. It's really nice. getting on from there, there's just one other little thing. A lot of people have done it, and I think there's mods, like really easy mods to fix it, is when you have the fan on, so like for the air conditioning or the heat or something, there's a really weird like bearing kind of noise. I guess I described it as like a metallic kind of noise down here in like by the glove box, and I think that's an easy fix. I haven't really looked into it. It's just kind of like a little bothersome, but if you have the radio on, you really don't notice it. What else? What I've done to the car so far is nothing much. I got some rally armor mud flaps right when I got the car, just because daily driving the car in the winter in New Jersey, you're dealing with all the salt and everything. I just didn't want all that getting on my paint. So rally armor mud flaps are great. They're an excellent thing. I suggest them. If you're going to get one of these cars, make that the first thing that you do to it. Another thing, I got the nameless axle back muffler delete. I just wanted a little more sound out of the car, but I didn't want to pay like a really high price for catbacks. And I'm also not too big of a fan of catbacks, because they get rid of the factory resonator and you get like a really annoying drone and everything. So these were really great. They were right around $300, so it's a really good deal, and they like bring out a lot of the sound in the car. It sounds really good. It's not too bad when you're driving. It is a little loud, but it's not crazy. You don't get any of that drone that you'd get with a catback, so that's great. And then I also installed a U-Haul hitch, just because I ride motocross, as you might know if you've seen any of my other videos. I came down to college in Alabama, so that's kind of a hike from New Jersey, and I didn't have any way to transport my bike around. So I had a trailer, and I figured, well, a hitch isn't that bad, so I just got a hitch installed at U-Haul. It was pretty cheap. U-Haul can install a hitch. I know Eco Hitch makes a hitch, which is actually really nice, and I was looking into it. It was just a little pricey, and I didn't have the time to take my whole bumper apart, because it's a hidden hitch. So it hides behind your bumper and goes, you pull out a little thing on your rear bumper, and the hitch just kind of sticks out of that. So from there, yeah, let's just go into getting, I'll go take the car out for a drive until you know what it's like daily driving it, good things, bad things, whatever, what's happened over the past year and everything. All right, cool. Alrighty, so let's get going. Close the windows so there isn't any wind noise. Camera off. It's not. That guy gave me a weird look. He's like, what the hell's on this kid's head? Alright. So right away you can hear the nameless axleback. Upon startup, if it's kind of cold out or whatever, just upon startup when the car, it is a little loud, especially when it sits around 2,000. It's hard to show in this. My car's a little warmed up now. It's still just kind of getting back up to temperature from being parked, but once it gets down to idle, it's pretty tame, and then like driving around town, it's not bad. But another point about the interior that I really like, I guess it's actually a little different than the older ones. This is my first WRX, but coming from other cars like VW Golfs and stuff like other little hatchbacks and everything, I really like the visibility. There's a lot of view. The windshield's a little slanted, which is kind of a complaint some other people had, but I don't mind it. Like the little windows here and everything, it's really easy to see out of. So like if you're on the highway, so you go to check your blind spot, it's really easy to see everything around you, which is a point that I really like. It was one of the first things I noticed when driving the car. Another thing Subaru changed in 2015 was the suspension. So I know a lot of initial reviews people had, I read in like Car and Driver and everything, was they complained the suspension was harsh. But I don't really think that's the case. I mean, I've heard it's a little worse than the STI, but I mean, for what the car's made for, it's really not that bad. So like this road right now isn't exactly the smoothest, and you can feel all the bumps, but it's not like, I mean, it's not like it's hurting my back or anything, and I've gone on long road trips and everything, and it's fine. And then it also makes it, but it's enough to where if you're on a track or autocross or just driving fun on a back road, it handles really well. So there's a pretty decent balance. I mean, you're gonna have some payoff, like if you want more fun driving car, you're gonna have to pay off for stiffer suspension. That's just kind of how it is. But I really don't think the WRX is as bad as they made it out to be. So 2015 was the first year the WRX stopped using the EJ25 or EJ257, whatever they used. I'm not sure. The EJ series motor. This is the first year, so they're using the FA20 right now, which is the motor. It's the same motor out of the Subaru BRZ, but it's just turbocharged. So that's the same motor out of the Subaru Forester XT. So what you'll notice right off the bat with this motor is it lost the Subaru grumble. That was because they put the FA20 in and they put a twin scroll turbocharger on it. So doing that, they had to get rid of the unequal length headers, which gets rid of the grumble. But sacrificing the grumble, you get a lot lower range torque, which makes it excellent for daily driving. So say you're, going around town and you want to like exploit gaps or anything, you have full torque at around 2,000 RPM, I think it was. So that's a really big plus for a daily driver. Then branching off from the engine, we'll get onto the transmission. So in this car, one of the options that came with it was the STI short throw. So this one came with the STI short throw shifter, so I can't really speak for the what it feels like without it, but I feel like it makes a pretty big difference. I've never driven a regular one without the short throw, but it's very precise. So you really know when you're in gear. You get it's kind of clunky, so it gives you a good clunk, and you can really feel it click into each gear. It's kind of got sort of a little gated kind of feel to it, I guess. I'm not really sure. Someone described it, I can't remember who it was, if it was Car and Driver or someone, I'm not sure. Someone described it as, it feels like you have a pole in a bucket full of gravel. It's very stiff. So, driving it, it's like, as you're going through the gears, each gear is kind of, especially when it's warming up, it's a little hard, not hard to get into, but you can definitely feel it. And moving the shifter around is just a little more difficult than, not difficult, I don't really know. It's a little different than some other cars, is I guess what I should say. I still have the summer tires that came on the car. I'm blanking on what they were, but they were high performance summer tires or whatever they're called. I've had them since I got the car. I haven't changed them. I figured I was coming down to school in Alabama, so I wasn't really going to need to change to winter tires. And I really didn't want to pay for tires if these were still good. They've held up pretty well. The fronts are losing tread faster than the rears. They're not at the point where they have to be replaced yet, but you can notice the difference. So yes, this is my car. It goes fast. It's black. I don't know what else to say. Except for that we're going 10 miles an hour under the speed limit! Trying not to tailgate you. Oh, we're going faster because we're going downhill. Oh my god, it's so scary! Really don't know what else to say. I mean, it's been good to me. I have 13,806 miles on it right now, so it's right before the 14,000 mile mark. And I've really, besides the trunk, the car has been excellent. No problems at all. I've kept up with the service. I haven't driven on it too hard. I've taken it to the drag strip a couple times, and I mean, I do beat on it a little, but nothing crazy. I mean, it's not like I'm bashing on it all the time. I mean, yeah. But the car's held up really well. I mean, no complaints yet. I mean, I haven't had any problems. There is a active recall on it right now for an ECM problem that you can develop a misfire under heavy load. So I called Subaru. I haven't had a time yet to take it, so hopefully no misfires and I don't blow my motor or whatever. They said it has it causes cylinders to overheat or or something, or pistons, temperatures, cylinder temperatures to get really high. I don't know, weird misfire problems. But it's just a tuning thing. So if you're getting a car, you're not going to have that problem. I'm assuming it's fixed, whatever. This is just for the 2015 WRXs, not STIs, just the WRXs. But if you're looking at a used one, it's not a big deal. It's all covered by warranty, so as long as there's a warranty on the car, you're fine. And it's not, I think they said it's like a 5-hour job, whatever. So yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. You know, this is the first model year of it, so there's obviously going to be a few little gremlins here and there, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, just a tuning problem. Like I said, the car's held up really well, no problems at all. And I've towed with the thing, nothing's given me any problems. It's been great. But yeah, Subaru, excellent car. I'd say, like, if you're in the market for one, you know, 2015s are probably, you can probably find one for a little cheaper now. That's the biggest problem with Subarus, is they hold their resale value crazy well. So like I've seen 2008s, 9s, whatever, go for up near like $15,000 now, and then the hatches, like a 2012, 2013 hatch will go for almost as much as one of these, which is insane. But yeah, if you're in the market for one, look at prices of these. The 2015s aren't bad, but if you can, I'd suggest, you know, getting a 2016, 2017 if you can afford it. Because they've made, you know, just a few minor changes, and I think they look a little better with the new Enkeis as opposed to the 17s. But yeah. And then if you're in the market for an STI, you've got some stuff coming your way, because they are, I'd suggest not getting one of the current gens, so 2015, 2016. Wait until 2017 when they come out with the new motors, because those are going to be, they're doing a FA series motor in the STI, so they are going to be excellent. I heard they're going to put out into the mid 300 horsepower range. So a lot of people, everyone that's saying, oh, that guy was looking at me funny. A lot of people are saying, oh, the Focus RS is going to kick the STI's ass. Watch out, Focus RS. The new STI isn't messing around. But yeah, tell me what you think. I'm really awkward at talking. I plan on putting out some more videos about this car, stuff that I'm going to do with it, stuff about my other cars, stuff about my dirt bikes. Let me know what's going on. Subscribe if you like this, and subscribe if you like, you know, other cool stuff like this. Not like this. Not boring talking. I don't normally do this. I do cool adventure-y things and motocross and loud noises, cool stuff like that. So if you're into that, hit the subscribe button. I really don't care if you like it or not, whatever. I'm just doing this for fun. Let me know what you think. Cool. Thank you, YouTube. I'll see you next time.